in Washington, D.C. But we're not going to hold on any further because we're opening, well, not opening, but our opening contest would be the United States champion Aiden Bailey, well, against an opponent of his choosing.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Asbury Park, New Jersey, weighing in at 215 pounds, the Extreme Wrestling United States Champion, Aiden Bailey!
And Aiden Bailey pretty much walking out first, technically as the inaugural, well, I wouldn't say it, but yeah, basically he is the inaugural, well, XWA United States Champion. Well, as basically he won the belt during Winter Warfare. So it's gonna be kind of a little bit difficult for him, well, not difficult, but difficult for anyone else to try and take the belt off of him. Now, of course, Aiden Bailey will pretty much have no clue who his opponent is, and who I want to say they could challenge him for the championship, but I do not know. So Aiden Bailey raising the XWA United States Championship high into the air. But we do need to figure out exactly who is his opponent. And here's a familiar face we haven't seen in a while. And that being Angel Rivera. So pretty much after Angel Rivera hasn't been seen in the XWA in quite a while. So pretty much it's always an honor to see, well, Angel return to action. But then that does beg the question, why did he not like show up in past events? Well, for that we do not know. Now for Aiden Bailey and everyone's not so favorite luchador, but Angel Rivera and ring, and here we go. Also, apologies in advance if my commentary sounds terrible, because technically I've been busy trying to at least complete this damn attire for several wrestlers that we will be seeing later on tonight, including downloading a few as well, but it doesn't matter. So pretty much after Aiden Bailey, she's gonna pretty much have to make sure to put on one hell of a show, pretty much to prove himself worthy of the United States Championship, or at least showcase that he is and always deserves to be the U.S. champion. Throwing Angel Rivera into a corner and a follow-up clothesline connect. Top rope now, however, no one home. After Aiden Bailey now has Angel Rivera trapped in for a bit of a brain buster onto Angel Rivera, but seeming that Rivera won't stay down, so Aiden may have to put an end to it. But he's telling the audience, saying that he might be the smartest person in order to take down Angel Rivera, or at least know that for Angel Rivera is capable of pulling tricks out of the hat. But now for Aiden Bailey, slamming Angel Rivera down onto the apron. It's almost like that for Aiden. Trying to target the mask of Angel Rivera. And mind you, well, the mask of a luchador is pretty much a special piece of their own gear. Once that is ripped off, technically that would just be public humiliation. And I guess that's what Aiden Bailey is trying to target here. We are already in our free cam, as I forgot to mention. And there it is again, as you can technically see that for Aiden Bailey. Well, if he can't beat Angel Rivera, he might as well attempt to rip the mask off of his head. Now, I would say that would be the right thing to do, but at the end of the day, what else is new? And also, you have to win by any means necessary. And countered by Aiden Bailey. Now he is in control, but here comes Angel Rivera. However, it does not connect. You see that for Aiden Bailey, pretty much making light work of Angel Rivera. The top rope now. What is Aiden Bailey thinking of doing here? Does he want Angel Rivera to be up for some reason for a top rope cutter? But into cover by Aiden Bailey. Well, they kick out two by Angel Rivera. And Aiden reasonably decided to go for a cutter, stopping Aiden, but not stopping Aiden, but stopping Angel Rivera from trying to charge directly at him. It seems to be like trying to get like a quick boost of momentum. But technically won't work it now. For Angel Rivera going for a Hurricanrana, trying to create space in between the two, but for Angel Rivera knowing that Aiden Bailey could target any given moment in time, so he has to make sure it does not happen. After Aiden Bailey now going off the middle rope into a moonsault, and it connects. But Angel Rivera might be down, and meaning that for Aiden Bailey could have the opportunity on his hands, only for Angel Rivera to pretty much move out of the way. However, for Aiden Bailey, and not letting it go to rest, cover, and Aiden Bailey gets the victory.
Here is your winner, Aiden Bailey.
An excellent match from Aiden Bailey. Technically, you can see him just starting to walk back, well, pretty much into backstage for whatever reason. Technically, thinking that he might have just straight up injured, well, Angel Rivera, but luckily he didn't. But now with that out of the way, it's time to move on to our next match for females competition. As I need to look at this bullshit script for the 10th time. Fucking hate this damn thing. Alright, there we go. But apparently, a little birdie had told me, saying that for what used to be known as a resident referee, saying that she is willing to compete in ring for the first time, and I want to say in a few years since she last, well, pretty much since she last wrestled. And of course, what we're talking about is Ren Taylor taking on what I want to say a future XWA/EWL Hall of Famer, Nicole Anderson. It's gonna be a good one. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here live in Washington, D.C. where pretty much, I want to say, an exciting, well, somewhat in-ring debut match, that being, well, Ren Taylor against the future Hall of Famer Nicole Anderson. And as you see out first, that technically being Ren Taylor, well, the 25-year-old prodigy, well, in some brands, I would say. This woman that you're seeing here is well respected amongst the three brands, that being Underground, Onslaught, and No Limits. So a lot of people seeing high hopes for pretty much in her career, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, but those same people saying that she could potentially win a belt if you really just try her hardest. And hopefully that will end up becoming a reality, but in pretty much the following weeks, or maybe even the following months.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, Nicole.
And now here comes, I want to say, the so-called queen of the ATL, that being Nicole Anderson. Now from what we know of, prayer for her being, well, not being, but having a successful career within EWL and the XWA, well, pretty much, it almost seems like that she's on a generational run, and there's no way of her stopping. A lot of people actually do want to see her win like a championship before, well, XWA Danger Zone, or at least, well, pretty much after Danger Zone, because they believe that Nicole Anderson could walk out with a championship. There you see Nicole, and there you see Ren Taylor. And here we go for match number 2 of tonight. And it will be Taylor against Anderson. After Ren Taylor trying to go for a stomp, well, stomps on the back of the head of Nicole Anderson, and knee straight to, I want to say, the upper back and maybe even the lower. It's almost like that for Ren Taylor. They're trying to showcase why she belongs here and everything, but not in the light, well, of Nicole Anderson. The way that cover, well, and a kick out by Ren Taylor at 1. Now, the one thing to note about Nicole Anderson, pretty much, she doesn't care on how she finishes the match. She just cares that she sends her opponent packing one way or another. So I will say this would be a tough opponent to deal with. Massive shoulder tackle into the corner. Let's see that Ren Taylor could be in control, only for that to be stopped by Nicole Anderson. Almost like that she was either thinking of putting her on the ropes or in the corner. But now Ren Taylor will in control. Now they're going for a bit of a snap suplex. Well, onto Nicole, stomp straight to the face and the back of the head. But now for Ren Taylor, they're going for a few mounted strikes onto the head and a slap for good measure. Not sure how Nicole will respond to that, but here comes Ren Taylor for a middle rope bomb. Well, not middle rope bomb, but a splash almost. Sounds like that for Ren Taylor could have finished this match almost already. Not it for Nicole Anderson to move out of the way in time. But back and forth fashion, the hip toss from Nicole Anderson, stomp on almost the setter at the back, and the elbow drop connect onto the chest. But if one's not enough, how about 2? Nicole Anderson roaring at the crowd, and this could be a signal that it might be over. Just under a few seconds, almost looking to try and lock the arm in onto Ren Taylor. However, for Ren, it's pretty much gonna fight another day here. But wait a second, and now for Ren Taylor trying to go for an abdominal stretch. Well, the abdominal stretch, but seeming that is not going to work against Nicole. Suplex almost directly into the corner, well, not really into the corner. Stomp onto the arm by Nicole Anderson. Now Nicole pretty much being slightly in control of the match, going for somewhat of a, technically a jumping hip strike or something, I don't fucking know. But it doesn't work against Ren Taylor. And a hip toss from Taylor as well. A cover. And a kick out of 2 by Nicole Anderson. Now, wait a second, kicks in midsection. Red Taylor going for a massive brain buster. Cover. And it still won't be enough. And Nicole managed to kick out of 2. And of course, Red Taylor being rightfully pissed off as ever. However, well, for Nicole is not going to let, well, how do I want to put it? For Nicole, not letting it at least happen, or at least trying to give Ren Taylor a bit of momentum. And mind you, this is like an in-ring veteran, but that we're seeing in action. Cannonball into the corner. I believe Ren Taylor might just got the win knocked out of her. Cover. And Nicole Anderson would get the win. And Nicole Anderson would pretty much walk out of Washington, D.C. pretty much with a win beneath her skin. And at least, let this be a lesson for Ren Taylor, as she does always have room to improve if the time calls for it. Pretty much moments ago, before the cameras went live, we end up getting to hear like an announcement from Keith Richards in regards to the XWA Underground Championship. And he had spoke with the Underground General Manager, well, Exile, which he is now being called. Well, they had a talk, and they're willing to pretty much put the XWA Underground Championship, well, across the 3 brands, that being Underground, Onslaught, and No Limits. But in order for a challenger to be set at hopefully what would be Gauntlet of the Immortals, there will be a #1 contenders match, and since no one else wants to partake, it will pretty much be as it's made, well, not made, but pretty much as it was announced, well, a few hours ago, as there will be Impulse taking on a new, pretty much taking on a new face, which I want to say was on commentary for a short while, and that being Oliver Knight. Wait, so you're telling me that's the person's name that goes by the anonymous, well, commentator? Why, yes, that is the anonymous Oliver Knight. Huh, interesting. Also, let me do the results. Now we return to Washington, D.C. And I know that's on anywhere because here comes Impulse and what seemed to be... Wait, is that a 6-pass jacket he's wearing? Well, it is a 6-pass Naruto-themed jacket. My question is, where the hell did he get it? I have no idea, but it looks cool nonetheless. Or it could be just a simple hint on what Impulse might be planning in his future.
Making his way to the ring from Charlottesville, Virginia, weighing in at 215 pounds.
Very got for Impulse. So now in the ring, which I want to say is very nice white attire, which I want to say he has, let's say, for some pay-per-views in mind, but we don't know what those pay-per-views are. Now you just got word that Oliver Knight is coming out right now. And for Impulse, pretty much in the ring, pretty much not having a single care in the world on who this person is, but that right there is Oliver Knight that stands before you.
And his opponent from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 215 pounds, Oliver Knight.
And now you just heard that Oliver Knight is also from the Washington area. So pretty much he was born and raised in Seattle, pretty much just a few miles away from this very arena. We are in Washington Capitals arena, from what we know of. Yes, Washington Capitals arena is where we are at. The hockey team, Washington Capitals, not, you know, the actual, like, U.S. Capitals. But you have the idea. But there you see Impulse, and there you see Oliver Knight. So the fight will get underway as Impulse, not even taking a single second, trying his absolute hardest to get rid of Oliver Knight. So, from what he thinks, he can become the #1 contender for the Underground Championship, which is currently being held by Zach Wilde. Speaking of Zach Wilde, I believe he is somewhere in this arena watching this match. But of course we don't have cameras on him since he preferred not to be seen. But now it's Oliver Knight pretty much showcasing his feats of strength, well, against Impulse. A lot of people say that these two look somewhat familiar. Well, pretty much at one point. Pretty much because these two share the same exact attitude and the same exact desires. There's going to be at the running power slam by Oliver Knight. Cover. There's a kick out of 2. I almost want to say this would have been an easy match for Oliver Knight, since technically, from what he is saying, that he has a bit more experience than Impulse, but he has to realize that Impulse has been in somewhat of the wrestling business since 2008. So at one point, many people would consider Impulse a legend or something. Because if I were to put like the pieces of the puzzle together, Impulse went in pretty much as somewhat of a, how do I want to say it, like an unwanted hero. So pretty much to an unwanted hero to a hated villain. But pretty much now being more of a beloved wrestler within most companies he's in. Also, I believe we just missed him utilizing the claw. But speaking of the claw, now for Impulse, really the finish off Oliver Knight with a deadly Black Rose in the corner. cover. But shoulders up at 2 by Oliver Knight as the match will continue. But if you heard what I said before we end up getting interrupted by a sudden Black Rose, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those that stuck with Impulse during those tough times in the past, cool. But now, for Oliver Knight, pretty much seeming to like stare down Impulse, lifting him up, almost looking to go for a massive bunker bomb, but in the corner. Going covered now by Oliver Knight, but in a kick out at 2. Now, I think we do have somewhere word that Impulse pretty much was seen in AIW. We're finding people such as Mercer Monroe, Jay Storm, and a person with the last name, I believe, Yamashita or something. Oh, and I also forgot, a person named XLP as well. So while Impulse was somewhat taking a little bit of a trip down to AIW, a lot of people seeming that Impulse is trying to at least get himself into more company to boost up his popularity or some sort. We don't know what Impulse's current goal is, but let's just hope it's a good one. And now focusing back onto the match. Seeing death for Oliver Knight being cracked open like a coconut, almost looking for a Black Rose coming from Impulse. However, for Oliver Knight, what's on the move coming? I don't know what he's planning here, but throwing Impulse into the springboard. And there's the slap, and now Impulse returns the favor. Almost trying to look to lock in. I believe that would have been the LKG that Impulse was going to lock in for a second. However, for Oliver Knight, not letting it happen. And now, for Oliver, pretty much having to look in his eyes, turning Impulse around, the shining armor will connect. Covered by Oliver Knight. But Impulse gets shoulders up before 3 out of 2.9. And Oliver Knight can't even believe at the fact that Impulse would technically kick out of the shining armor on Pretty Her. But now it's a fight taken out onto ringside after Oliver Knight pretty go for a bit of repetitive stuff, picking up Impulse. However, Impulse saw it coming, and now starts yawning. But after Impulse saw it coming and looking to dish out punishment onto Oliver Knight. Now Impulse taking a moment to try and catch his breath. Almost looking to try and win the match by countout. And you can hear Impulse literally saying to Oliver Knight, if you want to fight me, then fucking fight me or something. And I will say be careful what you wish for, because that's exactly what Impulse will be on the receiving end of. Somewhat of a very pissed off Oliver Knight. However, the Impulse for a Black Rose connect in the center of the ring, cover. And I don't even know what that a 3 or a 2, but I believe that was like a 2.9 or something. And now for Oliver Knight looking to capitalize on the fact that he may just kicked out of the Black Rose again. I don't even know what the hell Oliver Knight has planned, but seeming to drag Impulse almost to the center of the ring and looking to kick his head off, only for Impulse but to catch the leg and get himself back in control. After Impulse getting himself back on track for, I want to say, at least for his track record of wins and loses, a belly-to-belly suplex by Knight. Now for Impulse, now back up onto his feet after Oliver Knight. He would just almost look to try and give Impulse a suplex, but instead throws him off to his side. And Oliver Knight wisely pulling Impulse to the center of the ring, not letting him get anywhere close to the rope because it could force a rope break. Smart thinking by Oliver Knight, but now, for Oliver, now trapping Impulse onto the top rope. What the hell is Oliver Knight thinking? No. He might be going for a white noise off the metal rope, and it connects. And Impulse down for the count. For Oliver Knight, dumping on the face of Impulse. Look at that, he's not finished. Power bomb. And there's the Excalibur. The real Excalibur is what it's really called. And now Oliver Knight looking to go for the Shining Armor yet again. And this may be what he needs to get the victory and a #1 contendership cover. But it only for Impulse to grab the rope last second. And Oliver Knight cannot believe it. So he's saying, fuck it. And getting in position to what seemed to be another Shining Armor. But Impulse will start through, and the claw locked in. And Oliver Knight is down, cover. But Oliver Knight kicked out at 2. And pretty much a Black Rose out of nowhere. However, Oliver Knight got out of the way quick. As you can see, for Oliver Knight, getting ready to rev up the engine, then attacking Impulse in the corner, running into Gary, ends up connecting. And both of these men, well, not men, are hungry for that #1 contendership for the XWA Underground title. And you can hear the entirety of the whole Washington Capitals arena on their feet. But now for Oliver Knight using the silencer. And now, yet again, that he is using all the momentum, hopefully to catch Impulse lacking. And he managed to get into the Shining Armor yet again. Cover. And Impulse still kicks out of the Shining Armor. Like, where is he finding for the sudden stamina boost or the strength? Also, that was fucking good. Anyways, but now, for Impulse, seeming to try and fight like his life depends on it, but here comes Oliver Knight with a springboard into Gary, seeming to put down Impulse temporarily. But now, for Oliver Knight, going for a power bomb, and looking to draw the Excalibur knee, and it connects. Cover. And Oliver Knight is your #1 contender for the Underground Championship. And with that match will be held next week. And there you can see the match being made official. Of Zach Wilde versus Oliver Knight for the XWA Underground Championship. And yes, just like last time, that match will be contested pretty much under XWA Underground rules. But I will say, what a match. But now we must move on. What was the next match? Oh yeah, right. So now our next matchup will probably be, I want to say, a battle between David versus Goliath. And why do I say that? It's because, well, I believe you can already figure out the exact reason. But for those that don't know, well, pretty much spotted at recent live events, that being, I want to say, a really, really heavyweight competitor has entered the XWA in the form of Samantha Bay. So of course she, well, in most live events where you can see her, well, live events and house shows, she managed to put up, I want to say, a bit of a shock in the women's division when it turned, well, not turns, but when it ended up realizing that for Samantha Bay is close friends with Taylor Hugo, the woman responsible for taking out Sydney Pascal. So the question remains, well, the question remains, is Samantha Bay pretty much on our side, or is she gonna ally herself with Taylor Hugo? Well, the only way to find out is technically almost right now. And we're back here, well, in Washington, D.C., as here comes, out first, Amelia Phoenix. And it seems that a lot of people online, on social media, saying that it might have been the right call for pretty much the Lucha Sisters to pretty much go for singles competition. And technically, what way? Well, not what way, but technically, in some way, that for the two, they can cover more ground. Well, whether it would be Onslaught or No Limits. And now here comes, I want to say the 300, well, I want to say here comes the 300 plus pounder, Samantha Bay. And you can hear the entirety of Washington, D.C. really cheering for this big woman that stands before you, that being, well, Samantha Bay, or at least, she pretty much just calling herself a Bay for short. Now, I will go ahead and say this, for a woman, well, the size of Samantha Bay, when I tell you she can move like a damn high flyer, I'm not even joking. If you're not thinking I'm bullshitting, you will find out soon enough. And you see Samantha Bay pretty much checking, are her gloves even like tightly on? And which they are, thankfully. And for Amelia Phoenix, literally just taking a second to realize pretty much the opponent that is in front of her, so she's gonna have to try everything within her power to pretty much fight against Samantha Bay. As you just saw, for Amelia Phoenix trying to grab onto Samantha but not letting it happen. And scoop up Samoan drop, well, by Samantha Bay. And like I said, almost already, that for Samantha Bay going onto the top rope, but looking to wait until Phoenix is up. And I don't know what the fuck just happened, but there is a massive double axe handle off, I want to say, the middle rope. And for Amelia Phoenix, pretty much thinking that this might be a terrible idea. Now, I think Samantha Bay almost looking to try to utilize somewhat of a glam slam, well, from the corner, but not so much. Now, it was said from Samantha Bay that growing up, she idolized like a bunch of luchadors, well, from here and in other countries. Well, she even said that one day she probably won't reach luchador status. And who knows? That might be could what happened one day. You just never know. But now focusing on the match that is at hand right now. And for Samantha Bay being tossed outside of the ring by Amelia Phoenix at the fight, but we taking it out of ringside. And also, I believe someone just pointed out that the color coordination between Amelia Phoenix and Samantha Bay is almost like it's a battle between ketchup versus mustard. And I really want to know who going through the exact mindset to think of that, but then again, I can unsee it now. But now for Amelia Phoenix, throwing Samantha Bay across the ringside area. The ref count reaches, I want to say, as you just heard the referee just saying at 5. So both of these women gonna have to get back in the ring, and no way for Amelia Phoenix lifting up Samantha Bay and slamming her down with all her weight. The ref count is at 7. And now I'll tell you for Amelia Phoenix, they're gonna try to throw Samantha Bay back into the ring. Ref count at 7. And you can see Samantha Bay running back into the ring and thinking she might have won. However, for Amelia Phoenix to be in the ring almost at 10. There you can see like a hairspring, the like stunner attempt by Samantha Bay. Like I said, for as big as Samantha Bay looks, she has the whole mindset of a high flyer. So now for Samantha, grabbing a hold of Amelia Phoenix, now picking her up, and for Amelia, Samantha move out of the way, countered by Samantha Bay, and now for Samantha, go for a massive slam in the center of the ring, cover. And what almost would have been 3, however, for Amelia Phoenix, for Amelia Phoenix to kick out. But seeing that Samantha Bay is not done lifting up Amelia Phoenix, and what pretty much almost looking to use another grand slam. And you can see at the fact that Samantha Bay, okay, we acting like she's playing the bad guy here. I even go for a bit of a shoulder tower to get Amelia Phoenix out the ring. However, before Amelia Phoenix, as we look at our unofficial replay here, pretty much as we look at the unofficial replay, if I could just get the damn camera to be set up properly, pretty much like right in here. Okay, as you just see in replay, after Amelia Phoenix used her quick thinking to immediately get out of the way of what would have been like a raging bull of Samantha Bay. Now for Samantha lifting up, while Amelia Phoenix dropping her head first into the springboard, but countered by Phoenix. And another counter, but only this time from Bay. I don't know what the hell is Samantha Bay thinking, but lifting up Amelia Phoenix onto her shoulder to be somewhat of a torture rack. But however, for Samantha Bay, was not able to lock it in after Amelia frees herself from danger. I believe we could tell that Samantha Bay might be badly hurt, and if I know where this is potentially going, this is not possibly going to end well for Amelia Phoenix. Luckily, she moved herself out of the corner, only to be thrown into another one. That's Samantha Bay not letting Amelia Phoenix escape her. Over a massive suplex. And it's even to break the back of Phoenix, but now off the middle rope into a massive leg drop onto the neck. And I believe Phoenix might be out. Cover. And it's all she wrote.
Here is your winner, Samantha Bay.
And what an impressive on-screen debut by Samantha Bay. If any other luchador dares to challenge her, be aware. Well, because we are now entering the Bay side. now continuing on with females action tonight. And pretty much it will be, well, one half of the tag team champion. Well, the women's tag team champion, that being, well, AJ Max taking on, well, Rebecca Starr of the Media Outcast. And speaking of Media Outcast, well, we will see, well, some of the Outcasts outside tonight. Well, not outside, but pretty much outside of the ring. Because technically Rebecca Starr is saying, well, for SJ Ray to accompany her out onto ringside. Also, while matches are loading, I'm just casually scrolling through Discord. Looks like True Trial Pro Wrestling doesn't have that much of a women's division. But anyway, we're now back into the swing of things for Onslaught, because coming out first will be AJ Max of All the Outlaws. Now, of course, well, you do realize that for AJ Max not coming out with Palmer O'Reilly for whatever reason. So technically for AJ Max is going into this match solo.
Making her way to the ring from Melbourne, Australia, one half of the Extreme Women's Tag Team Champions, AJ Max.
So pretty much, as you can see, AJ Max, so pretty much just looking at the Tag Team Championship. Well, the belt that her and her friend Palmer O'Reilly end up winning at Winter Warfare. Or at least retaining. Well, I want to say last week or something, I could not remember. Well, but now, after AJ Max controlling the title, well, high up into the air and ready to go. You see AJ Max in ring, trying to get herself all situated. But now, here comes the Media Outcast. And out you see, well, the leader of the Chirp Army, SJ Ray, and coming out, well, from behind, that being Rebecca Starr. Together, they formed the Media Outcast.
Representing the social outcasts from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Rebecca Superstar.
And from what I know of, for the Media Outcast, pretty much have recruited a lot of members in just in the past few months. Cause they recruited people like, for example, Cassidy Walker, well, the juggernaut of PWD and PWD's women's champion, Danielle Warzone, and so on and so forth. So I'm starting to get the sudden realization that the Media Outcast could be the fastest rising tag team and also the fastest rising faction, well, within EFC. But enough talking, it's time to get to the fight. And pretty much off rip, that Rebecca Starr pretty much off to a hot start in this matchup, seeming to have control against AJ Max. However, AJ trying to get to the ropes, but Rebecca Starr not letting it happen. Very much as you can see out on ringside, that's for Rebecca Starr watching this match on. But now it's a cover from Rebecca Starr and kick out at 1. Not Fred. Well, not Fred. Prayer for SJ literally watching this match on our ringside. We don't know what caused SJ Ray to technically watch this match out from ringside, but it wouldn't matter. So pretty much running pump, well, not pump kick, but a thrust kick from AJ Max for the 1/2 of the XWA Women's Tag Team Champion. For try to get a quick pinfall onto Rebecca Starr, however, is the kick out at 1. Back for Rebecca Starr, going for, I want to say, a handspring. Well, pretty much a handspring hurricanrana. You can see for Rebecca Starr right to the corner, going back for, I want to say, a running Meteora into center of the chest of AJ Max. Well, it could have been a nasty right arm, but instead for AJ Max not letting it happen whatsoever. It seemed to be a bit of back and forth action after AJ Max seemed to use a bit of her high flying capability to try, well, and get under the skin of Rebecca Starr. Not sure if that's a good idea, because I will say, even if Rebecca Starr is somewhat, well, in single competition, and with her best friend SJ Ray at her side, they could technically pull tricks out of their own sleeves. But the question is, will they ever pull it off? But now, seeming that for AJ Max, looking to do something dangerous here, picking up Rebecca Starr, slamming her back first into the apron. Unfortunately for SJ, she is going to have to watch as all of this is going down. But however, for Rebecca Starr, not going down without a fight. For that is the heart of a fighter that you see there. Prayer for the French-Canadian native. And pretty much another hurricanrana now for Rebecca Starr. Pretty much going, I want to save for a, either like a moonsault bomb, but trying to pretty much go for somewhat of a leg slam onto AJ Max. Seeming that for AJ Max somewhat denied it and taking full advantage against Rebecca Starr. But now into the corner, going for AJ Max, running Meteora into the center of the chest. But AJ Max was seeming that for Rebecca Starr, pretty just throwing AJ Max around like a rag doll. And you can pretty much tell that Rebecca Starr wants to end this match once and for all. with a somersault and pretty her. But seeming that for Rebecca Starr is not finished with AJ match just yet, because you just want to put more of an insult to injury. And now whatever Rebecca Starr is thinking was slamming down AJ Max and immediately climbing onto the top rope, prepared to look to go. But instead wants for AJ Max to get up, but only for AJ Max to catch her like a Venus flytrap for a powerbomb from AJ Max. And she thought she had it in the bag. However, for Rebecca Starr saying, no, you don't get the win today. This win is reserved to be ours. From ring post 619 by Rebecca Starr. And a tope as a follow-up. As you can see for AJ Max trying to get herself above the ring as for a massive palooza kick of Rebecca Starr, only to miss the target as she sends herself flying outside the ring thanks to AJ Max. But going under, going for Rebecca Starr, picking up AJ Max and going for somewhat of a front slam, covered by Rebecca Starr, and she will get the victory. And you can see that SJ Ray is happy for her best friend picking up the victory against the tag champion. But technically we have now one more match to go before our co-main event. So technically, at our next match, basically Paige Bailey would technically versus the opponent without having selected by Keith Richards. I believe we are getting word from backstage. And what the hell is going on this time? Like, this is weird that I'm getting like word that shit is going down backstage again. Whatever this is, this cannot be good at all. Well, hold on, I'm gonna try and get cameras towards backstage. Hopefully we can sort this shit out. So pretty much our camera crew trying to at least get cameras active while backstage. And oh boy. And that's Sydney Pascal. But my question is, what is Sydney pretty much injured thanks to Taylor Hugo just weeks ago, and technically for Taylor Hugo almost being injured. Well, not injured, but technically for Sydney Pascal to basically be almost written off as injured. And what's even more insane is that for Sydney Pascal and Paige Bailey were scheduled to have a match, but pretty much later on tonight, but I guess those plans had to be cut short because for Sydney Pascal and Taylor Hugo are not even done with each other. But it's all looking at the moment Sydney Pascal will pretty much have been made clear to compete yet again. Pretty much she is out for blood and trying to get revenge on Taylor Hugo. And I want to say rightfully so, because Taylor Hugo kind of struck first. And I don't know what is Sydney Pascal's true intentions, but she is eyeing pretty much the trunk of the red Toyota Camry for whatever reason. So unless she has like a weapon back there or something, I can see why she would target it. Rapper Taylor Hugo for saying to Sydney, so you couldn't just stay away, well, after we condone what I call business. So I guess I had to send your ass into the hospital again, but this time I'll make sure you stay there. After Sydney not trying to hear any of it, and pretty much looking to grab the stop sign, and then just throwing it head first into Taylor Hugo's head. I believe Taylor Hugo might be busted open from it. And plus, what's even worse is that we weren't even supposed to be seeing Taylor Hugo tonight, because she was scheduled to be part of SWA's No Limit, or at least having a match there. It seemed that for Taylor Hugo somewhat managed to buy herself some time to pretty much try and run the one-on-one fade, well, against Sydney Pascal. And I also just got word that for Paige Bailey was already in the ring and pretty much now catching wind of this, technically running back there to see if she can stop the fight between the two before it gets any worse, just like the last time. And into the glass, going for Taylor Hugo at the fight, thankfully being taken out of the parking lot. It seemed that for Taylor Hugo will really want to make sure that Sydney Pascal will never show up, well, for future shows, and maybe even, well, for the all-women's pay-per-view on the 13th. Well, but for Sydney Pascal, well, she came prepared this time, and she's technically done, but with Taylor Hugo's games, looking to take the trash can, dumping the trash out, pretty much just staring down Taylor Hugo. Well, for some reason, they're looking to somewhat throw, well, a trash can straight to the face of Hugo, but technically Taylor moving out of the way, get to the midsection, and being slammed, well, in the face by a trash can. Well, I guess we already know who's going to be going home and taking one long shower after this match, and that will probably be Hugo. And I would say this in advance, to not dump trash over an angry Italian, especially when it's Taylor Hugo. Prepare a massive, well, lariat, well, not lariat, but a clothesline. Prepare into the car, going for Taylor Hugo. And I don't like, well, what Sydney Pascal's true intentions are. But if you really want revenge, I would have said this would be the way to do it. And again, I really don't know what the hell is inside of that car. But seeming that for Sydney Pascal had been eyeballing it, well, pretty much for a few minutes time. And looking to go for a massive crossbody, laying directly onto Taylor Hugo. And I think both women might be out, as security rushing backstage to separate the two. Comparing separating the two, and now here comes Keith Richards. For seeing all the carnage. Enough! Enough! Both of you. What the hell I got into you two this time? You know what? I don't even want to fucking process this. So guess what? technically, we are already almost on the road to Danger Zone, but since y'all can't wait for that, I have a better idea. I will make this match official right here, right now. Taylor Hugo versus Sydney Pascal. No holds barred at Ladies Fight Night on the 13th. Well, as just been made official by the Onslaught General Manager Keith Richards, and very pissed off, as I could imagine, making the match official. Well, technically, one of the very first few matches made official for the all-women's pay-per-view at WA's Ladies Fight Night, and that being Taylor Hugo versus Sydney Pascal in a no-holds-barred match, and to what Keith Richards hopefully believes will squash the beef. But the question remains, what the hell is Paige Bailey gonna do now? Oh my. But I guess we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. And we need some time to process this and what exactly just went on backstage. And we need to process what went down backstage or something. Okay, you think everything's all cleared away from, well, like backstage? Yeah, I believe everything is, like, cleared. And those two have been escorted out of the arena. Good. I just hope they don't run into each other again. Unless it's a face-off. And we're back here live at WA's Onslaught. And we had to skip over one match due to the violent attack between, well, the violent exchange between Taylor Hugo and Sydney Pascal. And pretty much just moments ago, well, the general manager, well, Keith Richards, had made the match official. And hopefully that'll be an easy solution, that being a no-holds-barred match between Sydney Pascal, well, versus Taylor Hugo on January 13th. But before we can get too in detail of that match, we need to focus on our co-main event. Nicholas Blade taking on Luke Reeves. Pretty much that for Nicholas Blade. Well, pretty much making his way down to the ring slowly but surely. Because I'm sure everyone that was in Gorilla pretty much saw what went down backstage, and they want to say they kind of feel bad for Sydney Pascal. But at the same time, I would say she would be reasonably pissed off against Taylor Hugo, because technically Taylor nearly broke Sydney's neck. So I get it that Sydney Pascal will be out for revenge, but not in the way that we have seen tonight. And believe you me, happen if Sydney Pascal would have got Taylor Hugo near the red Camry, it would have only went worse, or at least gotten worse, from what we know of. But luckily, security managed to get backstage in time and separate the two before it could have gotten any worse. And there you can see Nicholas Blade getting himself all ready. And here comes Luke Reeves, one of our other commentators for XWA, well, No Limits, in which, as a matter of fact, it has been made official that for both Oliver Knight and Luke Reeves will be on commentary for our final few pay-per-views. Well, the 2K20, well, not 2K25, but technically the 2K24 commentary team, as well as breaking news, Luke Reeves and Oliver Knight will be on commentary, well, for the 2025 season premiere of EWL. So at least that's one thing that can technically lighten up the mood. Now is Luke Reeves and Nicholas Blade in co-main event, and here we go. It's the battle of the Ghost versus the somewhat fake commentator, and what most people call online, of Luke Reeves. Dang, that for Luke Reeves not letting Nicholas Blade try to get the best of him. Dang, we have the referee trying to hold back Luke Reeves from doing further damage onto Nicholas Blade on the outside. And Luke Reeves can kind of somewhat respect that. Well, for his opponent. Come on, Luke Reeves is somewhat of a respectable opponent that you want to go up against. So technically, Luke Reeves somewhat cares for the fight. Now for Luke Reeves. We're about to be on the receiving end of Nicholas Blade going for a top rope cutter. I don't know what the hell is Nicholas Blade was attempting to do here. But for Luke Reeves, we're pretty much not trying to let at least Nicholas Blade, or never mind, after Blade not letting Reeves try to get to the better of him. However, for Luke Reeves managed to get out of the way. Well, it was going to be a corkscrew moonsault, to be specific. Pretty much that was a collision course of both men, and there is a pump kick of Blade cover. There's a kick out of two. Now they're going forward. Technically, that would be the bladed torpedo of Nicholas Blade. Cover. There's a kick out by Luke Reeves. As you can see, well, not see, but hear the Fight Forever chant. The massive, massive brain buster by Blade, and the top rope moonsault. Looking to pick up the cover, almost, desperately cover. And Luke Reeves still kicked out of two. The fight will continue. For Luke Reeves trying to get a bit of a comeback here against Blade, but mind you, Blade is 100% a difficult opponent that you want to try and regain momentum with. It seems that Luke Reeves might be able to do that with ease. We can just get, well, like Nicholas Blade in perfect position, that it'll all be over. After Luke Reeves managed to get out of the way, a bit of a back scratch, and now for Luke Reeves, Riddler going for a 4D audience. Cover. And a kick out of 2.9 by Nicholas Blade. Now for Blade being lifted up by Luke Reeves, and almost would have been a suplex attempt by, I want to say Reeves, but however for Blade, not letting it happen, jumping over for Luke Reeves, a massive pump kick meets in the middle. Proceeding down for Nicholas Blade is not finished with Luke Reeves. In what way or what form? Trying to go for a suplex, however, for Reeves counters the suplex into his own. I don't know what to say about this. The bladed torpedo connect, cover. And Nicholas Blade gets the win in the co-main event.
Here is your winner, the Ghost, Nicholas Blade.
That Nicholas Blade would take the victory here in the co-main event. Both men entering backstage after tagging for Nicholas Blade, celebrating his victory. Can't believe Oliver Knight fucking won. But I will show everyone in this whole world that I'm done playing games. As a matter of fact, I need to make a phone call. Come on, you pick up. Great. Alright, look. I'm gonna just say this once and I'm not gonna repeat myself. I'm gonna need your assistance. And I'm gonna need your assistance now. And once this is all over, we never bring this up again. Bye-bye. Of course he doesn't pick up. This person's slowly starting to piss me off. Oh, would you look at that? Seems like I got some shit to do after all. And get the camera out of my face. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I gotten into Impulse. But seemingly he's hinting at calling in backup of some sort. So whatever that could mean. But anyways, with that, But technically, with that put to a side, it is time for our main event of tonight. And I believe we're trying to get word with the two competitors. Technically, I would say that this would be, I want to say, a debut for one star, which will be, oh, wrong person. Ladies and gentlemen, main event time here in Washington, D.C.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Worcester, Massachusetts, weighing in at 228 pounds.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Jordan Loco, the older brother of our XWA's Universal Champion, Mr. Blue. Give me a moment. For Jordan Loco, making it rain here, well, in the Washington Capitals arena. Well, however, it won't be the case.
And his opponent from San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in.
And here comes Exile. Which our fucking production team don't have a theme ready, which is kind of fucking annoying. As for Exile is now what he is being referred to. But he was the former, well, pretty much he would technically know as the former Dragon, and he literally won third well, as a tag team known, well, pretty much used to be known as Project Lucha, well, in PWD, but they go by a new name in which technically Exile says he doesn't want the name to be revealed until further notice. Now you see Jordan Loco versus Exile. And now here we go. And technically this would basically be considered as a luchador main event, as it's basically Exile taking on for the older brother of Mr. Blue, that being Jordan Loco. Okay, after Jordan Loco pretty much trying to take off the mask of Exile. That would pretty much be one fatal mistake that for Jordan Loco what to do is stomp onto the arm by Exile. Now to keep in mind that for Exile is a very quick opponent and also somewhat of a difficult opponent to even work with, because technically his attacks literally hit like a fucking truck or something. Danny moonsault by Exile. It's not going well for Jordan Loco. Falling knee connects onto the center of the back. And now Exile going for the middle rope crossbody cover. And keep in mind, Exile is still with the SWA's, well, underground general manager. But tonight, he is not a general manager. He is a fighter. Pretty much going for a massive crossbody, only to be caught by Jordan Loco. Massive power slam. Pretty much into the center. Well, almost in the center of the ring, but being thrown to a ref. But maybe that was Jordan Loco's intention. Tried to at least force a headlock submission onto Exile. But mind you, pulling a headlock submission on Exile would be considered difficult. And there's a few kick combo and the boots to the center of the face of Jordan Loco, but Exile not wasting any time looking to put away Jordan Loco. And there's the kick, elbow, the boot, and a falling knee ends up connecting. And you just saw Jordan Loco pretty much being laid out, Exile taking a seat right behind him, but what the? That's the Miz? What the hell is the Miz doing here? And from behind, a skull-crushing finale onto Exile. And both men are down. Now covered by Jordan Loco, but Exile kicks out. Terry for Exile, Terry being blindsided by the Miz. Surely this is not how Exile wants this match to go. I guess all good things may have come to an end. However, for Jordan Loco trying to get the match of Exile gone. And I would say this is a very fast-paced match between the brother of Mr. Blue versus, I want to say, one of the pillars of the XWA. Now for Jordan Loco going for a kick to midsection, wrapping the arm and the head. And probably what he calls the pretzel DDT of Jordan Loco. Covered now onto Exile. And Exile is not even going to let Jordan Loco try to get the better of him. But there is the money maker by Jordan Loco, cover, and Exile breaks free at 2. Now for Exile, lifting up Jordan Loco onto his shoulders, fireman carry. Dropping Loco, well, head first into the springboard, and Exile think it would have been a no-holds barred, thinking that he could run out and grab a weapon. But this is a normal match, so weapons are prohibited. Now Jordan Loco trying to drag Exile to what would be the center of the ring. Trying to get a hold of the mat and rip it off. And for Exile going with the double knee hook combo. And countered by Jordan Loco. After Exile. Now being held up by Loco, but now Jordan Loco pretty much going for the Loco section, and he gets the win.
Here is your winner, the Darkness Loco.
And what an exciting main event that was just put up. But that'll be all she wrote here for XWA Onslaught. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you guys tomorrow, well, sometime tomorrow night for XWA No Limits. Good night, everybody.